Good morning. How are you guys doing? Hello, hello. I am just trying to make sure everything is set up. So forgive me one moment. I just want to make sure everyone can see. If you can see me and you can hear me, then make sure to comment and let me know that you are here. Are you there? Is anyone there? Hello? All right, it is good to see you all. Welcome to Take 10. Take 10 is our Thursday kind of art play date. So what we do with Take 10, or what I do, I believe really strongly that everyone has creativity in them, and sometimes we just need to reserve a little time to get creative. And with Take 10, I think that about 10 minutes is a good amount of time to kind of nourish your creativity, to get excited, to make sure that you're kind of getting in touch with what you love about creating and crafting in the first place. Sometimes we become really focused on a final product and we don't focus more on the process, and the process is what really benefits us. And so on Take 10, we like to try new techniques, we like to try new products, we just like to try new things so that we can get to know our supplies a little bit better. We never worry about a final product because it's not a big deal. We're just playing around. We are just having fun. So good morning to Carol. Good morning, Elena. Good morning. I'm seeing Masterpiece Jeweler, so I'm going to call you Jewel. All right, so today we are playing with one of my favorite mediums that I actually haven't played with in a while, and that would be alcohol inks. So, alcohol inks. I have some of the Ranger alcohol inks, and they come in these little itty bitty bottles, and alcohol inks work on special paper, on alcohol ink paper. I use Yupo paper. I also have it in translucent. Ranger has a whole line of cardstock that is appropriate for alcohol inks. You want it to be on a non-porous surface. So regular paper doesn't really work well for alcohol ink. It will soak straight into it and won't give you the movement that you are probably looking for if you are playing with alcohol inks. So we're going to talk. You could talk a long time about alcohol inks. Good morning, Amy. It's awesome to see you here. You could talk a long time about alcohol inks because there's a lot to do with them. We are just going to play with some of the basics today. So here's a piece that I was messing around with before. Some of the things I'm using, the alcohol inks, I'm going to be using some alcohol blending solution today. I'm actually going to pull out one of these larger sheets. This is an 8x10 Yupo. This is white cardstock, so I will be pulling this out to start with, and I have some other pieces that I'll be using. I have this tool. This is an airbrush tool from Tim Holtz. It's actually made for alcohol markers. I'm going to use it just to help me move the inks around like that. What else? Oh, we're also going to give this a try. This is the Alcohol Lift ink. If you are a journaler, this is going to be a great way to be able to use your alcohol inks in another book or journal separate from the Yupo paper. So everything is linked in the description if you're interested in checking out more about alcohol inks. It's all linked down there. Those are affiliate links, heads up. So it doesn't cost you any more, but it does go to supporting this channel. All right, good morning, Amanda. Okay, good morning, Vicki. Good morning, Anya. I see lots of people coming in now. Okay, let's get started. I'm gonna set my timer. Alexa, set a timer for 10 minutes.
10 minutes, starting now.
All right, so with alcohol ink, it is super simple. You just take off the cap, and all you're gonna do is drop some drops on the paper. And you can see it's slowly starting to expand out over this paper. You can use one of these goodies. You can also just blow on it. You can also just move it, just depending. And you see, you get just a very cool look. So that's just one color. How fun is that? Love it. When you add alcohol blending solution, it's going to like repel away. So for instance, if I add some here, see how it's changing? See how it's changing what that looks like? And then I can move it even more. And you can see I put that blending solution and it's like going in that direction. Look at how it's pushing away from there. Some super fun patterns. Now, a cool part is to mix some different colors. So I'm going to drop some of this color in here. I'm going to pick a different blue. This is some turquoise. This one was pool. This is turquoise. So a little bit different. Now I'm getting all over. And then I'm going to put some pink sherbet. So we'll mix it up even more. And I'm being pretty generous with my inks. Now I can take these and start to mix them and move them and blend them. Look at that mixing together. Love it. As they kind of blend and move. And then I can also come back and add some, I'm just gonna add some blending solution. We're gonna let this kind of move around and see what we can create. I haven't ever worked on an 8x10 piece of paper before for this. Oh, it's so cool and so fun. I kind of want to add some more of the first pink. And actually what I want to do, I want to put a bunch of it right there. And this time, I'm just going to kind of move my paper and see what starts to come of that. Look at that. Super fun. And now let's do this. Look at how that's creating on the page. And then moving down this way. And I don't want it to run off. Don't want it to pool up at the edges. So I'm going to use the blower to kind of break up those areas that I feel like have pooled some. Ooh, I love that. Okay, but I'm gonna add over the top of this color. See how it's gonna repel? So I can add some more of that, and then I'm thinking the pool, which was that brighter blue. What's gonna happen if we put it there? Ah, see how it's just like pushing the color away? I love it. You just end up with some such cool patterns and rings and blending. It can create some amazing backgrounds. So if I were a card maker, I would be like all over this all the time. I make cards sometimes. Let's add butterscotch. I haven't ever tried, Debbie, I haven't tried the blower, but I imagine it works. It looks to me like one of those things I used to use for my kids' noses when they were babies. This one is not coming out. Let me grab, hold on just a second. This one is clogged. I was just using it earlier. Probably should have cleaned it out a bit. Okay, this one might not work. Let's see. This one doesn't want to come. All right, that one's a no-go, but let's be different. Let's add some cranberry to this. I know, I'm with you. Vicki was saying this can be addicting. It's so true. You can just play with it forever, and I love it. Just playing with different color combinations. Like, look how different that looks once you add the cranberry. It kind of takes on a whole different feel on this paper, which I am here for. I'm going to go back to turquoise. gonna add a good amount here and here and work that turquoise. Now you can just let it flow. I like to force the issue. You can see how I'm turning my hand in different directions. Oh, look at some of the color we're getting over in that way with those deep purples. Alma, you see why I'm working on this in this little crate today, in this box. It's my spray box too. Okay, I'm gonna put this away, and then let's talk about the Lift ink. So this is Lift ink. I don't have the metallics yet, Carol. In fact, I literally just came from, where did I put my, oh, I literally just came from Michael's and I was looking at the metallics and I was good and I didn't pick them up this time. The metallics are super cool. Okay, so I just picked a star stamp for this process. It works one of two ways. So, or it works multiple ways. Let me find a piece of paper here in my journal. We'll go right here. I'm gonna just put this to the side. I know you guys can't see it very well. What I'm gonna do is first ink up my stamp, my little star stamp. I'm going to ink it up and I'm just gonna pick an area I'm kind of digging. So I'm gonna come over here. Whoa, a little slippery. That was my fault. So I pick it up and then I press it down. Ta-da! Transferring the ink. But the other cool thing, this wasn't totally dry. I messed that up. You guys. Me and messing it up. It was supposed to be dry. Let's find a place. Well, it's just not going to be dry yet. Hold up. Got to get out my heat tool. I was looking at the alloys and the pearls today. It would be fun. I just wasn't ready to jump into that investment quite yet. So I'm going to let this dry. I was a little bit overzealous. Let's pick this area. Let me make sure this is nice and dry. And we'll aim for over here. And let me show you how the Lift ink works. Because if you're wanting to use this in a creative journaling way, I wouldn't recommend putting alcohol ink straight up in your Bible journal or in any journal that you're working on, but you can still get some of those beautiful colors and some of the shading in several different ways. You can lift it up and put it directly in. You can cut this out and use it as a tip-in of sorts, just all different ways. Okay, let me try this again. I really focused on this area. Let's see how we do. Now, this is slippery paper. If you are going to stamp over the top of this with a regular stamp, you're going to want to use something made for non-porous. Okay, up, stamp it down, and then what I'm going to do is come over and you literally just buff it away. I'm just going in a circular motion, and you see how it's picking up that image. So I can do the same thing and then pick it up again. So let's aim. Let's just go straight up in the middle right here. I'm going to put it over here on my journal, and then I'm going to come back and buff that out. The paper is a special paper. It is Yupo paper, so it is a gloss paper. But isn't that cool how it does the stamped and actually get a pretty good amount of ink? It is a special paper for sure. Let's try right here. I'm gonna kind of overlap it. That's fun. Alexa, stop. And then buff it out. Real gentle. You don't want to press real hard. Look how fun that is. I love it. And you can just keep playing and playing. Now, if you get too much on here, you end up with areas like this. What I generally do when it seems to be, for lack of a better term, like gunking up. Oh, I'm just buffing it with an old handkerchief That's what I use around my craft room a lot. So when I feel like it's gunking up, then I can use some of the blending solution, and kind of work that area out a little bit. If I don't like the gunk, if I want to fight the gunk, I can just add a little bit more in and kind of break it up. Ooh, now that part is looking super cool. Ooh, I like it. Okay, I'm liking all these little like shootouts. Ah, I love this one. Look at, I'm gonna come over here and try that same thing because this is a little gunky. Yep, you can use it on anything that is non-porous. So glass, vellum. I have a translucent sheet. Let me show you that. Over here, these are translucent Yupos, which is basically vellum. This is a little thicker than vellum, but look at, so you'll be able to see through it. So fun. Alcohol inks, like Vicky said, and like I'm telling you, are addictive. Like, I could play with this for a long time and come up with, see, I'm kind of digging the rings that I'm getting over here. And the whole point of alcohol inks is going to be to play with it as much as possible, because it's a medium you can't control super well. You can't. It's a mixed media thing. And so in order to feel comfortable with it, if you're more of a control kind of gal like I can tend to be, you have to play with it so you can start to maybe predict what is going to happen. But you guys, like, are you kidding me? That is so beautiful. Like, I know I'm not going for a finished product, but I like this one. Like, I'm going to just do, sorry, I know my 10 minutes is up, but we're just going to keep. Amy, it works the same on vellum like it does with this. So you do the same stuff, all the same things. A larger spray bottle. As far as like blowing air, I don't think you want to add water to this. You used it on the glass. Vicky said she used it on the glass and then framed a photo. So cool. Now look how it's like the star peeking out, but I don't really like these edges. So we're gonna, okay, I'm kind of covering up my star, but that's okay. I'm kind of liking when I go in all different directions. Ooh, that was a nice one. A little goes a long way. You don't have to put a ton, but I am loving it. I'm right here. Let's play with this area. Let's fill in. So fun. If you have not to spray the air, I don't know. I mean, you can try, like, you could try the heat tool, although the heat would like affect it more. It would make it dry. Oh, it's so fun. So you can take this. You could keep going. I would frame this. I think it's beautiful. I could stamp on top of it or letter on top of it once it's dry. You can cut it down, create tip-ins for your journaling of some sort. Ah, I got some ink on my thing. That's okay. You can do the lift ink and come up with some very cool designs in your journaling. You could cut it apart and make the most gorgeous card backgrounds or scrapbooking backgrounds. I just think it is so fun and inspiring to play with. So if you haven't tried alcohol inks, give it a try. I think you'll like it. No, Carol, you have to let it dry all of the way. It's not going to be sticky in the end. Like over here where it's dry, it's not sticky. But where it's gunky, it's got to dry for like a super long time. Yes, die cutting from it. That's another great idea, Amy. There's all kinds of ways. So fun. So if you haven't tried alcohol inks, give them a try. You're gonna love it. It is a great way to kind of get your creativity going. As you can tell, you could sit here for a really long time and play with this cardstock, so that would be awesome. I have everything linked down below if you want to check it out. A huge shout out to my YouTube members. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much. Take 20. You're funny, Carol. We should just call it Take 20 from now on, because that's what it ends up being. Okay. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for your support. If you decide to give Alcohol Inks a try, make sure to let me know below. I'd love to hear about it. I hope that you have a fabulous day. And as always, keep it